YouTube, Down Home News TV. I am your host, Dre. Got a video coming from Fox News, Fox Across America, with Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon? That how you say his name? Excuse me for the pronunciation. But the title of the video is Byron Donalds. Since I did a video earlier of Byron Donalds talking to Stephen A. Smith. The title of the video is Rep. Byron Donalds, Obama doesn't want any part of this video or Biden video controversy. I haven't seen a video yet. I can't speak today. I don't know. I'm tired, dehydrated. But let's check it out.
Joining us at the tippy top of the hour, superstar Congress from the great state of Florida, the Ricky Henderson of leadoff guests in radio. Let's hope the reference works for him. I am talking about Byron Donalds. Yo, BD.
Man, listen, I love Ricky, man. Am I going to be stealing bases? Am I going to lead the show, all airwaves and steals?
You're leading off. You are the Ricky. That matters, okay? And I'm glad you got the reference because I love Ricky Henderson. I was just showing my son Lincoln. It's the greatest quote of all time. So when Tommy John used to pitch for the Yankees, you know, guys would hold up the Bible verse, John 3:14. Yep. And Ricky Henderson famously...
Yeah, that's Ricky, man. Ricky's
hitting 330. I don't need you to talk about yourself in the third person. I just need you to be the regular BD. It seems to be treating you just fine. You've done a lot of events with Trump. Obviously, you're pretty prominent on the campaign trail. Do you ever find yourself feeling the need to lead him off the stage?
No. Usually, he finds his own way. He makes his own exits.
Yeah,
but listen. First of all, it will be the only person I've ever grabbed their hand/wrist and walked off with them with my hand in their back is my wife.
Fair.
I've never done that with anybody else ever in my life. Maybe a child, because you're trying to get a child somewhere and they're not listening.
Yeah.
So either Joe Biden is a juvenile or he is what we think he is. He is a elderly man who gets lost. Well, it's not just me that Robert Hur thought that as well. That's why they didn't prosecute him.
Yep, and they weren't going near those tapes. But knowing that to be the case, so the response to these videos is the White House saying they've been selectively edited, except nobody edited them. Okay, Obama could come out and say, "Hey, I wasn't leading the guy; it was just like a familial gesture," but he's not. So, do you think on some level, he doesn't want to, own this because he probably believes Biden has to come off the ticket? Because could they really leave him on?
Obama doesn't want any piece of this.
Yep.
It's a very strong possibility they have to leave him on, and here's why, Jimmy. Who are you going to get? Unless this is all a ruse and Michelle Obama's ready to go, what you going to do? Kamala Harris is going to be the great savior? No. Is it going to be Gretchen Whitmer? Nobody even knows who she is, but then again, no. And is it going to be Gavin Newsom? That guy's the worst governor in the country.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do?
Yep.
And this is the fundamental problem that they have. And so, I just don't think it's going to work because either the people just aren't known or their records are terrible. Oh, I forgot. She just got a standing ovation. Hillary's coming back. Let's go, baby. Rematch.
No, you dare. Hillary, who took out Gaddafi and apparently stole his wardrobe, too. I don't know if you saw that outfit.
Oh, my gosh. I'm not going to talk about that.
Not the best. Byron Donalds is on the phone. We're excited about it. A man himself who is on. They're asking you a lot of VP questions lately. I think you're handling it well. Is there any part of this that's kind of insane to you that you are on this short list?
The only insane part is that you're just kind of like you see the list on TV and you get asked the questions and you're like, wow. But it's really when you go in the rooms with people and people walk up to you and they're like, I want you to be vice president. And that's when it gets real, it gets surreal. But when you I was asked the other day on MSNBC, they're like, well, would I be ready on day one? Well, I'll tell you this, Jimmy. I'd be better than either one of the two that got the job right now. Joe Biden, are you kidding me? I'm way better than him, and I'm way better than Kamala Harris. I know that today. So I'll be just fine if that's what President Trump does.
It's my favorite thing in the world. They're like, would you be ready on day one? You're like, would these people be ready on day 600? because they're not.
You're absolutely right, Jimmy. They're still not ready, and they've been doing this thing for 3.5 years.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And I think when you look at polling, and this is everything you need to know, if 80% of the people think the country's headed in the wrong direction, it's like, look at a president like an Uber driver. If we got an Uber XL, there's 10 of us in the back and 8 of us think the guy's going the wrong way, we probably need a new Uber driver, no?
Yeah, it's time to be like, hey, sir, can we stop right here? I got to get something. On second thought, cancel the ride. We're done. We're done. Call another guy. Get it. Get the Uber Black. Get the Uber Black in here. Stop dealing with Uber X. We're not doing that anymore. Uber Black, please.
We're out of here. Give me this, because they're having a weird reaction to the polling now in terms of, and I'm watching Harry Enton on CNN say it's mind-blowing that Trump has the level of black support that he does. Do you think the Democrats internally know this is a problem in terms of the black vote and they're just projecting some outward confidence? Or do you think they really believe the BS that Trump hasn't really shifted the dynamic?
No, they really know there's a problem. And the reason why I know they know there's a problem is because all of a sudden, me talking about black families became this whole thing about wanting the Jim Crow era back. It was so dumb on its face, but the only reason that they go this far is because they know they got a problem. You have the Biden campaign. I think he's been to Philadelphia 6 times this year already. They're spending a bunch of money in what are supposed to be urban areas, Democrat strongholds, because they're trying to limit the damage. And look, the way I look at in this current election cycle, first of all, I want all black people to vote Republican because, quite frankly, the policies are better and the country comes out better off, and that's better for children, better for families. That's what I want. But from a tactical electoral perspective, Donald Trump having 20% of the black vote, Republicans having 20% of the black vote, I mean, races are over as far as I'm concerned. The Democrats need 90%. They have to have 90% to barely get a 3-point victory. So that is how monumental the black vote is in this election. And I think that a lot of black people have simply had enough. And they've been, and I think in the age of social media, where now the country's becoming much more mature with social media, people have an ability to see clips in real time, go back and see old clips, compare and contrast, look at data side by side without the lens of MSNBC or the New York Times or the Washington Post with their crazy headlines that have nothing to do with the actual articles that are written underneath. And people are making a different decision. I think that's what's happening.
That's a great point. Byron Donalds is on the phone, because you understand when they're arguing with what you didn't say, okay, which was the news cycle that you were in the middle of when they tried to make it sound like you were advocating to bring back Jim Crow. Okay, if they're arguing against what you didn't say, it means the substantive conversation doesn't benefit them.
Exactly.
One thing I would clarify, though, because you did talk about how much Biden's been to Philadelphia. I know there's a desperation there, but they're also just checking all the laptop repair stores to make sure there aren't any more laying around.
Trump just got 2 more, baby. They're gonna send out a John Brennan to make sure people know they're fake.
But this is amazing, though, because think about that. So everybody this week in the media and everybody in the White House who's telling you these Biden brain freezes are fake told you the laptop was fake. It's the actual 100%. Same people. So do you think, to your point about social media and everyone being all grown up now, do you think the Democrats have they're getting an accountability that they were able to avoid in the infancy stages of social media?
Well, yeah, and also the fact that they dominated the social media landscape. I think in 16 they got caught off guard with how prevalent social media was. And I know just by saying that, they're going to say that I don't think Russian disinformation was real. But the truth of the matter is that the only disinformation was the Steele dossier that Hillary Clinton is who put that into our politics. I think the reality is that now that people are accustomed to looking at videos and reels and flipping through stuff, people are seeing different viewpoints, and they start to land in different areas. And then I think when you have platforms like yours, Jimmy, yours is a bigger platform than you realize, but then you have so many different podcasters who now are developing followings of their own that are totally independent of the big media. It gives people different aspects, different ways of consuming information, and I think that's good for our politics. Then when you look at the country, I mean, come on, man. When a pack of Oreos is $6, things aren't going well. People just know
I'm gonna leave it there on this video. But this is one of the few times I actually heard Byron Donalds speak. I'm familiar with him. The only time I really saw him or had time to watch any of his speeches or interviews was on usually on Sundays. And they have all the news shows on in the morning. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about Mr. Byron Donalds there in Florida. And yeah, that'll be it for this video. I'll see y'all on the next one down on News TV. I'm Dre. Y'all have a good